Hello everyone, myself S.Thirsha, third year CSE student. I am going to present about Agile testing practices and principles in this video. First of all, we'll discuss about what is Agile testing. It refers to a software testing practice that follows different principles of Agile software development. Agile testing means testing a software for defects or any other issues quickly and also give quick feedback for better and faster development of the project. The key attributes of Agile testing are communicating frequently with product owner as well as developer, and the whole team is involved in the testing process. Now we'll discuss the principles of Agile testing. We have 8 important principles that guides the testing process. First one, continuous testing. Agile teams perform tests regularly to make certain that the product is continuously progressing. Testing is done in conjunction with development. The next principle is continuous feedback. Agile testers do not simply test constantly, they are also responsible for distributing the results of those testers and facilitating the provision of feedback from customers to developers in order to create a more robust product. And then the testing involves the whole team. Testers, developers, and business analysts all test the softwares. The fourth principle is receiving the feedback quickly. The business team participates in each iteration. Ongoing feedback reduces the time it takes to get feedback on development work. The next principle is high-level software quality. Teams test the software to ensure the code is clean and tight. Through regular testing of the software, issues and vulnerabilities can be easily detected and fixed in the same iteration as they are developed. Next, the less documentation principle. Agile development methodology is in no way an anti-documentation. It simply reminds teams to document not more than necessary and when necessary by keeping documentation as simple as possible. Here comes the test-driven principle. In this method, the test cases are developed to specify and validate what the code will do, and if the test fails, new code is also written. Testers evaluate the product at the time of implementation rather than after implementation. The ultimate goal of Agile software development is customer satisfaction. The end goal of every action taken by an Agile tester is to create the best product possible for the customer. They can adapt and update environments as development progresses and gives the best and required product. This is the pictorial representation of the principles of Agile testing. Then we'll take a deep dive analysis of Agile testing practices. At first, code austerity needs to be maintained. The code implemented in the application must have sufficient attributes to execute the Agile test case. Keeping this in mind, you would eventually suppress the defect counts and simplify the review and testing process. In addition to that, while executing Agile testing, you must also keep in mind that the code must remain understandable to allow enhancements and upgrades in the long run for giving healthy updates. Along with austerity, the testers also need to take care of the code sanctity by using the version control tools for avoiding code merge issues. It probably arises when more than one agile tester is working on the same code, so it must be avoided with the use of respective tools. The next required practice is repetitive test. Agile testing is proved proficient when it is done repetitively. As per the top software developers, testing before and after coding is highly essential to check on all units of the software precisely. You can go ahead and do the test once again for code refactoring. Repetitive test will ensure that no codes are broken in the process of rigorous testing. Whenever the new codes are added in broken ones, they should always be maintainable to meet the designated standards. Under Agile testing, the simple rule is to test the apps multiple times whenever there is even a small code movement, code merge, or code change. Hence, this is what makes this testing process so important and effective. Then, the next practice to be followed is in person communication with developers. One of the most important best practices in Agile for testers and methodology is to talk in person to the developers. The role of the Agile testers is to eradicate all sorts of errors and bugs from the application. For that, the testers need to know more about the application and collaborate with the developers. Then, the goal oriented work approach. The Agile software QA testers need to plan a goal and decide the area of focus before commencing with the testing process. You, as a tester, need to understand the code calling requirements and test shoot farming. You must derive your expectations from the end result of the Agile testing process before execution. It is essential as the increase in the number of iterations increases the functionality traits. Therefore, with planned approach, the future testers will find it easy to deduce the functionality of the application. Along with that, testers' cases must also follow the naming conventions. The important practice is focusing on one functionality at a time. Agile testing is not about executing the process in groups. You must adopt this practice and focus on one feature at a time for testing. It is a simple practice and you can ask your team to prepare the test case accordingly for the chosen feature or functionality testing. Make sure to check the test case and review it for correctness as it is the prime aspect of Agile testing execution on the features and functionalities of the software. Hereby, I conclude making the agile testing successful. The greatest thing that can be done to ensure the success of agile testing for a product is to hire people who have the essential characteristics of an agile tester and to build a culture of self organization and independent thinking in the entire organization. That environment will naturally result in stable infra without sacrificing speed, resulting in happier workers delivering a better, more valuable product faster to a satisfied customer. I hope this video is understandable and useful in knowing about the agile practices and principles of testing. Thank you.